So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I just want to make a video on volatility 75 analysis order blocks. So someone asked me in the comments that I had to make an update on VIX 75. So it could be that previously maybe there's a video where I promised to make an update, so that's why I chose to make it, but otherwise I wasn't going to make it. So I really want to update you on what I'm expecting on volatility 75. So as you know, when I'm doing analysis without indicators, I use what we call order blocks, you get. So personally, there's a look at the structure or the movement of prices, and then I come to have a bias. It's not that I always predict the right things. Actually, watch out for that. It's not that always I'm right, but at least my predictions, if at all I don't meet my confirmations, I don't take entries, and that sells my account, you get. But when my predictions are right, then I win big. So always, all I knew when I started is that the market shall always be there, you get. And by the way, these things, they didn't take me a lot of time. I only started in 2018. For those of you who want to know for how long I've been doing this, 2018 January, you get. But it hasn't always been easy. Too much losses. By getting losses, I didn't give up. I thought to myself that one day I would learn. So I dedicated myself to learning, and up to now I'm still learning a lot of things, you get. So all I can say to you is patience. Then before I even proceed, I will also talk about mentorship. I'm really glad that some of you are appreciating what I do, but for mentorship, trust me, these things require a lot of time, you get. So it would require me to hold to one of these, either the channel and I proceed with mentorship for some time, or actually that's it, because personally I also have to have time for myself to take my own entries. This is not the job, you get. Though I want you guys to subscribe and do all that, it's not that this is what I'm going to stick to only, you get. I have to find time for myself to do the analysis. So this one, I had it for myself. It's only that someone commented about VIX 75. That's why I've chosen to show you what I'm having on my charts and what I'm looking at, you get. So you guys, the more you give me a positive response is the more I'll keep sharing with you what I'm looking at, my predictions, my strategies, you get. So that's it. Sometimes I don't watch my previous videos, so it could be that maybe I promised that I would make an update and I didn't make it, so that's why someone commented that, and I really appreciate that, you get. So you always write your reactions in the comments down below. So personally, as of now, I'm waiting for prices to come down, and as you can see here, I have my prediction. This is my prediction, this is my main target. But before we reach here, I'm going to show you why I expect that, you get. And now, if I don't get this, what next? What next? So that's what I'm going to be talking about basically. So this is VIX 75, and then the other thing that I need to say, these patterns, they will always be also in forex and stocks and Bitcoin and all that. They will always be there, you get. So don't switch off thinking that this is only for volatility indices, though I have to be honest with you to show you the asset that I'm on. So the other thing, I'm on a daily. So it's not that always I do analysis on the daily. It's only that when I see setups on, let's say 15 minutes, I go with 15 minute setups. But there is something that I've been doing like of recent days, predicting long-term pictures, you get. So I think you've seen what we did on step index. Three times on H4 I gave out signals, you get, and we're seeing over 8,000 pips. Trust me, that's ridiculous, you get. So if you stick around, you will keep learning even before I do mentorship, because first of all, for mentorship it will be paying, you get. And for me to take your money, man. It's not always my wish, you get, but sometimes it's a necessity. So I'm thinking twice about that. But if you're able to learn something here and then maybe you get the money, then it will be easy for you to pay for that. So that's it. So mentorship shall come. I'll do it, by the way, but not right now, because it has to be a little bit organized. And like organizing the workflow, everything, what comes first, what comes next, you get, not something random the way I'm doing it here, you get. And then for mentorship, I need to see if it's forex, indices, what, so blending together those things, you get. So that's the reason as to why mentorship has not yet come out, you get. So it's, I want to prepare some good package, so for that one I'm done. Then let's start on the, we want to end up here on the prediction. So as you can see, I got another block here. On the daily. We got another block here, and then we broke structure here. But there's something that we see here when we are breaking structures here. You can see that we only had buyers. Now previously we've been seeing structures being broken when we are only seeing sellers. So by the way, I really appreciate that guy who really commented on VIX 75, because now we've gotten an example where we are seeing only buyers. So I told you, when you break this region here and we're only seeing buyers, what do we expect is we expect to fill up this gap where sellers didn't participate. And now you can see we get this region called mitigation. From here we shall come back to this region, you get. That's why I do this box. We have to touch this region and then we come back to this region. Now in the mitigation process, we expect a participation of both buyers and sellers, but overall we are going to be selling back to this region. Remember, I have this arrow here. This arrow shows that we have to reach this area. So let me quickly show you why I have this arrow stopping here. So for that, we are going to go on the weekly, you get. And then, because sometimes now you can see shortly we're on the daily, but now we are not seeing where the candles are heading to, you get. So quickly let me go to the weekly and then I show you. So sometimes when you reach and let's say the candles have ended here and then you're not seeing where you're going, you go on a higher time frame to see what's happening. So quickly on the weekly, you can see that we have, this is the weekly high, you get. This is the weekly high that we've been chasing all the way up, you get. That's why I already have this box here, you can get. So I expect to reach in this area, and then I'm going to explain more when I'm explaining the prediction here. So now I think you've seen that. So let's go back on our daily where we are doing the analysis. So now on the daily, first hold up. So as you can see now on the daily, this was our target, this order block here. As we broke structure here, this was our target. But now as we were breaking the structure here, you can see that we got an imbalance. So we had to first fill up, which means we have to first come back down, then we fill up. After filling up, then we go back to this region. That's why I put this arrow here on this leg. After reaching this area, this was the target, you get. This was the target to reach this region. So I think you've understood that the order block was to take us to this region, but when we were breaking the structure, we got imbalance. So after getting the imbalance, we had to first fill up from this region. We fill up, then we go back to this target. And I think now you're starting to get why after this reaching this region, I have my prediction to come down, you get. So at least now you're starting to get the picture, I hope. So now there are things that I've been talking about under mitigation, and in my videos about order blocks, I've talked so much about liquidity and equal highs or equal lows, you get. So now as we were coming down under mitigation, I have this line, and I think you've seen it on my order block videos that I've been making, this line here, you get, given that we're coming down, if you miss out on the opportunity to come down here, I wait for another high. So this is an opportunity for you to take an entry, because overall you know that you are under mitigation to come to this region. You get, here you're only looking for selling opportunities to this region because you're filling up the space from here up to here. You get, so each time here you get a very perfect entry for sell. This is your target, and now when you reach your target here, you know that on the weekly we saw that this was the most recent high, so we were going up to here. So that's why when you get an entry here to go in, this was our target. So if you miss out on this opportunity here, we know the market moves with pullbacks, so you wait for the pullback. So this was another opportunity for you to take entries. This was another opportunity for you to take entries. This was another one for you to take entries, because this was our target. You get, so that's it. Then I have something here called let me explain quickly. Liquidity. This is the region. If you didn't take entries here, trust me, here you would lose money if you're buying. You get, but now you have to be very careful. Under liquidity, this is where they gather up money, because people who bought here in this region, they were just enjoying money, so they have to gather liquidity in this region. And now you can see we get another high here. This is very perfect for us to take entries up to down here. So we go to what we call equal lows. Equal lows, I mean, there is that region where prices come and hit too much. You can see we hit this region 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 times. So these are what we call equal highs, equal lows. Sometimes there's another one where I explained we had equal highs. You get, so now after getting equal lows, this was another confirmation that we are going to break out strongly here. And now after seeing this, after getting equal lows, that means we have a bullish order block. When you have equal lows, it is likely that you're going to have bullish order blocks, a bullish order block. Or if you have equal highs, and then if this one was just inverted and they're up, we would expect prices to break out, and then we see that prices shall come down for a long time. Now after me getting these equal lows, this was another confirmation that now the next move is going to be so strong, because it will break this region here. Like when they come down aggressive like this, we would go up to break even this area here. You get, so let me zoom out a little bit. After me getting this aggressive move down, I would expect that now the next time we are going even above this region. So now when you go above this region where we turn to fill up the mitigation, which is the most significant region that we are going to, this was the region here that we have up here. You get, now this is another confirmation that we were going up. You get, so I think you've seen that these are the equal lows. Equal lows, they break out aggressively to think that people, to trap traders who think that prices are going to break up down to go further down. But for us now, at least if you've been watching, you know that when we get equal lows and when we see an aggressive move down, wait for the order block for us to go up. You get, now the next thing that I'm going to explain is the trend line. You get, one of the things that I use are trend lines, but trend lines are not respected. You get, they just give a picture. The market doesn't respect trend lines. You get, so never rely on them. So as we are coming down, possibly there will be a reaction to this line, but this one shouldn't even confuse you, because trend lines are not respected. Reason being, you can see that we are trending up, but you look at these lines, this one is not touching, these two are touching. You get, but they give you the overall picture. You get, because I know the market might come down and then it just changes the trend. You get, so the trend just gives you some kind of picture. So never be confused by the trend line, but they can provide us with regions where we expect significant turns. You get, just for instance, now you can see here that prices came, they touched here, and the next time they touched exactly here, you get. So I believe you guys maybe you're not seeing because you're on phones, some of you, which is okay. So now I think now I've tried to explain this side. I've not explained much this side, just reason being I've been explaining in previous videos. So I quickly want to go to the prediction. Now you can see that now I have what we call BMS, and when I put BMS, personally I understand it as break of market structure. For me, I can see that here on the daily time frame we broke structure to go up, like we broke this high here. But you look at the way we broke this high, we can only see that only buyers were participating. So what do we expect? I expect for the market to come and fill up this gap here. You get? I expect the market to come and fill up this gap. But remember, we had another block here, and this was our target on the weekly. This is the weekly target. By the way, this box I drew it on the weekly, as you saw at the beginning. But now when I draw this box, I expected that when prices reach in this box, I would get bearish confirmations, or if at all I go out of the box, let me even go there on the weekly. Now you can see that I drew this box on the weekly, that you can see the big one here. So the prices were here, as you can see. This is the order block. I expected prices to come. You can see the arrow as it's going. Let me zoom out a little bit. So so this is the weekly. I expected prices to come from here up to here, you get. But now we got imbalance, as you can see here in this region. So we came back to fill up the gap. But now which direction were we taking? The direction of the arrow. So after filling up the gap, we went back up to this region. But now in this region, what do I expect? I expect that prices will reach here, and then possibly we sell, most likely for us to sell. But if at all we go up consistently, then we shall mean that this one shall become our new support, because right now it is our area of resistance. You get? I believe now you're getting that. But now when we go on a smaller time frame, on the daily, we can see that after us reaching this region, we are getting a sell confirmation. What is the selling confirmation that we are getting right now? I want to show it to you. In this region where we expected to sell, we can see that the most recent structure, as we were breaking it, there was an imbalance. What does it mean? We have to get a mitigation phase where we expect to fill up this space here. You get? We expect to fill up this space. So that is the confirmation that I have right now, that prices are going to fall from this region back to this region. Remember, this is the daily, and when I start getting those confirmations, that's when I take entries. You get? Right now the market is still buying. So what do I do? If I've done it on the weekly and the daily, because as you can see, this is weekly, we've been moving between the weekly and the daily. Now after me drawing this box, I'm expecting to go down. Right now I don't take any signal that is buying. You get? Just to save. Now to save the account, so what do? You go on smaller time frames, because we've been moving on the daily and the weekly. You get? So which means you have to switch from those time frames. You go down, because that's when you're going to see better entries. You get? So now you come to H4, for instance. Now that's what I do, because now I expect that now I'll be looking for entries to sell. Now you look at here in this box, I know this is the kill zone. Now I start seeing what is going on H4. You get? Because for me, I'm waiting for my prices to go down. So that's what I'm currently saying. Now I go on, let's say H1. For me, I'm waiting for my opportunities to come down. And now on H1, I'm starting to see my signals to go down. Now, given that in the box I'm above the box and I'm expecting to come down, now you can see that prices were moving. Let me is it zooming in or what? It doesn't matter. Now after me seeing such a move here, we can see that prices were moving aggressively up. All of a sudden we see a pullback down. Now if I'm expecting to turn in this region, this is what I do. You get? That's what I do. Now I will only take entries that are going down in this region. Now after drawing this, I go on a much smaller time frame. You get? Because I want to get in early. When I get in here, it will mean that I'll be up on the top. You get? On the candle week, on the weekly time frame. So you come here and then you go on M30. You get? Now on M30 you can start to see that even here they moved aggressively, and now they came aggressively down with a bearish engulfing candle here, as you can see. Now we've started getting confirmations of going down. You get? So you can see that on M30 we are starting to see confirmations of going down in a region where expected to go down. You get? Now you can even go on much smaller time frame. So now on M30 after the close of this candle, I can feel free to get in. You get? So I think you can start to see that we've started to see confirmations to go down. You get? Now even when I go to my daily, actually now the daily is going to cease to matter for me, because I was expecting to come down. As you can see, this box up, I didn't just extend it here, but in this area up to here. So maybe let me quickly explain why these are my targets, because now at least now we've seen that on M30 where I expect to sell, I've started to see this is M15. Now M15 you can see that we are starting to get our confirmations to go down, but on the hourly time frame it is showing us, on the hourly time frame, because I do this box on 1 hour, it shows us that when we break out of this box, this will be the most perfect entry area for us. You get? So here we still have time for us for ourselves to wait. You get? Remember, this is we did it on the daily. You get? So we don't need to worry. Then the other thing that I wanted to show you, the targets. Why those targets? So now as you can see, these targets, this is my first target where the box is ending, because previously this was an area of something like support and resistance. Prices resisted here at one point, and they found support at one point. So this region, it means that it is likely that prices will reach here and then they form new structures, or I don't expect prices to exceed this region unless we have new structures. So this is the main target, this region, because it was a very, very strong area of support and resistance. You get? So this is the main target. If at all prices reach here, I just adjust my stop loss and then I wait for this main one. You get? So this is the target for now. So for now I wait for, I always be patient, then I wait for the signals to go down. That's what I'm watching for on V75, as one of you asked, because I was going to just keep it to myself. You get? So that's what I'm waiting. Right now I'm not taking entries. Right now I'm going on smaller time frames to wait for perfect entries like M30. You get? So on the 1 hour, as you can see on H1, we got the after highlighting of this region, we know this is the best position for us. As when we get out of this box, that will be the perfect on H1. You get? So right now I don't need to worry. Right now I'm not taking anything above. I only take things that go down for now. So there are a lot of things that I have not explained, but just know I cannot explain them in one day, because I didn't also learn them in one day. It just took me a lot of time. So I believe you can compile from other videos that I made and you will learn something. You get? So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you.